The Joe Rogan Experience.
But it's hard because people have other motives like emotion, tribalism, things like that.
Well, people find great comfort in these belief systems. It gives them sort of, I've often said that it gives them some sort of like a scaffolding for their, just their structure of the world, their ethics, their morals. They can use religion as some sort of a mechanism to help them get by, something that they can climb on to ease some of the confusion of the unknown.
I'm sure that's true, but I don't understand why anybody therefore thinks that therefore the religion is true. Why would you think that because it provides you with a scaffold you can climb on, that makes it true? I could understand you erecting a scaffold that was, say, gymnastics or a certain diet or something like that, but a belief about the universe, that's either got to be true or not. And it doesn't make it true just because it's comforting or provides you with a scaffold to climb on.
Well, it's almost like it's a spiritual system, like a placebo effect, like a spiritual placebo effect. And by believing that this is true, it gives you this comfort and allows you to condense your thoughts into a better path.
The placebo effect, of course, is very real, and doctors know about it. But did you know that the placebo effect works even if the patient is told it's a placebo?
Yes.
I mean, that I don't get. I mean,
Incredible.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very strange. Well, it's sometimes people doing things and knowing that they're doing things gives them this sort of feeling of momentum, of accomplishment, of progress. And I think so many people are just so adrift and don't have focus that even just telling them, hey, you're gonna be a part of this program, this program to treat X, Y disease, whatever it is, and here's this thing, like just focusing on it.
Well, I think the main reason why so many people believe in homeopathy, which not only doesn't work but cannot work, is the placebo effect. That well, it's partly they're going to get better anyway, of course, but it's also the placebo effect that a homeopathic, I won't say doctor, a homeopathic practitioner gives them a nonsensical piece of medicine. And they believe it's going to work, and so it does. And so the placebo effect is important. The CFI, Centre for Inquiry, has actually got a lawsuit going on at the moment against pharmaceutical shops selling homeopathic remedies alongside genuine ones. We can't stop them actually selling homeopathic remedies. What we can try and do is stop them putting them on the same shelf as though there's no difference between them.
Hey, buddy.
I didn't even notice he got up.
It's all right. He's my best friend now.
Marshall's everybody's best friend.
How dare you, Marshall?
Yeah, he's a hoe.
Yeah, that I forgot where we were.
Well, you were talking about
I got distracted by Marshall.
Intersectional.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, Marshall. Come here.
I just don't want him to get
No, I know. Wires. He wants to play. He starts playing with him.
Hey, buddy.
You can play. You want to lie down?
Yeah, I just don't want him to get in the way. So you were saying that you realize that everybody has their problems. It doesn't matter if you're black or white.
Yeah, I really learned a lot. Those women, it was run by lesbians. They like taught me some shit that stuck with me my whole life, like cluttered room, cluttered mind. I loved that one. It was basically like they were very strict. But what happened was I learned how to be a really crafty drug addict. So I was like, well, as long as my room is clean, I don't have a problem. Because I came to LA at 19 or 20, I guess. And this was like 2000. And I started interning at this website called Buddyhead. It was like this old music website, and they were all punk. And they had the #1 gossip site for music in town at the time. And everybody was obsessed with this with this website. And
I have a feeling Marshall is a distraction here. He seems like a little.
He seems a little restless.
Buddy, come here. Come here, pal. Come here.
He's so cute, though. I can't bear to kick him out.
People, come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Say hi to people. Oh.
Hi.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the sweetest dog in the world.
Seriously.
People have been asking for him to be on the show forever. He'll do the rounds. He'll go to you. Hi, what are you doing in here? He'll go to you. He'll get pet. Then he'll go to Jamie. He'll get pet. But I just don't want him to interrupt the conversation.
No.
It's a little bit of a distraction.
That's fine. I'm all over the place.
And I don't want him to yank any wires out either. Hey, he's going to Jamie now. Told you.
Doing the rounds.
That's what he does.
They're such like love sluts.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Goldens are love sponges.
So is my boxer. She'll go sleep from one bed to another to another. She gets all the love.
Well, he's not allowed to sleep in beds.
Yeah, that's smart.
But he's very loved. It's just that I've never had a dog like that before. They're just so different than any other dog I've ever had. Because he's just a constant friendly lover.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he never gets annoyed with you. He never wants to go lie down, but he's always happy when you say hi to him.
Yeah.
You just start talking, his tail
Just like
starts wagging.
pure unconditional.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that those used to be wolves.
I
That
know.
They've turned them into this thing.
I know.
But for average people, right, this is academic. That's not your primary threat. Your primary threats are these bulk collection programs. Your primary threat is the fact that your phone is constantly squawking to these cell phone towers. It's doing all of these things because we leave our phones in a state that is constantly on. You're constantly connected, right? Airplane mode doesn't even turn off Wi-Fi really anymore. It just turns off the cellular modem. But the whole idea is we need to identify the problem. And the central problem with smartphone use today is you have no idea what the hell it's doing at any given time. Like, the phone has the screen off. You don't know what it's connected to. You don't know how frequently it's doing it. Apple and iOS, unfortunately, makes it impossible to see what kind of network connections are constantly made on the device and to intermediate them, going, I don't want Facebook to be able to talk right now. You know, I don't want Google to be able to talk right now. I just want my secure messenger app to be able to talk. I just want my weather app to be able to talk. But I just checked my weather, and now I'm done with it, so I don't want that to be able to talk anymore. And we need to be able to make these intelligent decisions on not just an app-by-app basis, but a connection-by-connection basis, right? You want, let's say you use Facebook, because, you know, for whatever judgment we have, a lot of people might do it. You want it to be able to connect to Facebook's content servers. You want to be able to message a friend. You want to be able to download a photograph or whatever, but you don't want it to be able to talk to an ad server. You don't want it to talk to an analytics server that's monitoring your behavior, right? You don't want it to talk to all these third-party things because Facebook crams their garbage into almost every app that you download, and you don't even know it's happening because you can't see it, right? And this is the problem with the data collection used today, is there is an industry that is built on keeping this invisible. And what we need to do is we need to make the activities of our devices, whether it's a phone, whether it's a computer, whatever, more visible and understandable to the average person, and then give them control over it. So, like, if you could see your phone right now, and at the very center of it is a little green icon that's your, you know, handset, or it's a picture of your face, whatever, and then you see all these little spokes coming off of it. That's every app that your phone is talking to right now, or every app that is active on your phone right now, and all of the hosts that it's connecting to. And you can see right now, once every 3 seconds, your phone is checking into Facebook, and you could just poke that app, and then boom, it's not talking to Facebook anymore. Facebook's not allowed. Facebook's speaking privileges have been revoked, right? You would do that.
I think I have a very peculiar biology that demands a certain amount of exertion.
Yeah,
Me
sure.
personally.
And I have friends like that. I mean, I have lots of friends like, man, if I don't run every day, I feel like shit. I'm like,
Running's very addictive, though.
I feel fine.
Yeah, you get used to it. There's a high that you get from running that's really interesting. And any long-term cardiovascular exercise, you get this. It's like we did, last October, we did the Sober October thing where we had this crazy fitness challenge. So all of us were doing cardio like 5 hours a day, like really crazy amounts of cardio. And one of the things that Tom Segura and I both agreed on is like the amount of internal chatter dissipates to zero. Like you have no anxiety. It goes, I didn't realize I had any anxiety until that happened. And then I was like, God, it goes to zero. It goes to nothing. Like when you do like 5 hours on a treadmill or you just running, just run for when it's done, man, there's this like peace of mind that comes with that. This release of endorphins that's incredibly addictive because that feeling is so pleasing. So it's not that it doesn't feel good to get out of bed and to just push when you don't want to, but the end result feels amazing. It does feel really good.
I wonder if there's any research looking into whether that effect happens universally. Because I've worked out, I've run. There were times in my life I've never gotten a runner's high. No. Never. I get my teeth hurt, my knees hurt, my back hurts. I feel my brain, bouncing around in my skull. I'm half a mile into it, and I'm like, "Fuck this! This doesn't feel good."
You have to get in shape first. That's a big part of it. It's not that simple. It's like for me, I never really got into running. Like the first time I really did any serious running, my friend Cam Haynes had a 5K, which is, what is that, 3 miles, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
And I didn't run at all in preparation for it. And when I ran the 5K, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is hard. Like I didn't have, and there was no good feeling at all.
Yeah.
It's running on concrete and shit. And
right.
In Vegas, it's gross.
Oh, in Vegas.
Smelling sin in the air. And, but when it was over, I was like, okay, obviously, I'm in good shape, but not in good running shape at all. So I should probably get in shape for this. So then I started running. And then when I got into running, and particularly running hills, then I started feeling it once I kind of got in that kind of shape. And then when the workouts are over, like I run all the time now. And when it's over, I just have this.
Yeah, you and Marshall are doing your thing. It's great.
Yeah, I fucking and he loves it too. There's a crazy bonding experience with that dog, because he loves it.
Now, many things happened after that I was able to use that. Like I became, when I was stuck on A Beautiful Mind because it wasn't cinematic, I thought, well, how can I make it cinematic? And I thought, Veronica de Negri, she lived in an alternate reality. Well, that's exactly involuntarily what a schizophrenic has to do. They live in alternate realities. So in the movie A Beautiful Mind, to make it really compelling, we started in an alternate reality and made it a thriller and realized, oh my God, there's this epiphany, and you realize that was not even reality, right? And that's what blew people's minds, and that's why the movie kind of worked, because it drew you in so deeply into this character that it became like this subjective experience that every audience member could feel, like the pain of that and the insanity of what that must feel like.
That was another brilliant movie.
Oh, thank you.
I love that movie. When you say make it cinematic, what do you mean by that exactly?
Well, Ron and I realized that Ron Howard, who directed it and won an Oscar, and we realized that in order to make it really interesting, you have to understand the mind of a schizophrenic. So therefore, you have to see somebody's mind. Mm-hmm. How do you see somebody's mind other than just graphically, or like through graphic design and we thought that's not very interesting, like the insertion of graphic design or voiceover narration. That makes it kind of a documentary. So, but we thought but if you could have an entire story, kind of with the military and paranoia and all that, that's exactly one of the dimensions or realities of a schizophrenic's mind. So you get to film it with other actors and other people, and that's why I mean when I say cinematic. So basically, when you're seeing the 25 minutes of living in this alternate reality with Ed Harris and all that stuff, craziness, it blows your mind as an audience, and then you reflect later like, wow, that wasn't even real, and wow, is that guy really going to come back? And, you make it seamlessly cinematic with the rest of the narrative of him trying to cope with schizophrenia itself. So it becomes the merging of an alternate reality and actual reality. And the actual reality is when you watch him in that level of pain and just trying to survive, like cope with meds and the wife. And then we found the way to make it, kind of work triumphantly, because it was love that was the most powerful force. It was that one person decided to stay with this other one person. The wife, Alicia, stayed with John Nash.